Ladies and gentlemen, cats and kittens, gamers of all persuasions, I am DivineTestament, and this is Shapez2, the supporter edition. DivineTestament, what the hell is Shapez2? Shapez2 is a factory game. DivineTestament, what the hell is a factory game? A factory game is a game where you gather materials, create structures in order to process these materials, in order to make deliverables. What those deliverables are depend on the game. For Shapez2, you basically harvest shapes and you manipulate these shapes in order to deliver specific shapes that are required of you by the system. Actually, technically the vortex. If you look at the center of the screen, there is like a green glow there, and you see those trains violently going into that vortex. That's the vortex. The vortex hungers for shapes. What shape you deliver depends on what the vortex demands. That makes no sense. I know. This game is an amazing game. It is simplistically complex. It is aggravatingly calming and relaxing. It allows you to turn your brain off while simultaneously amping your thought process up to 1,000,000. The gameplay is solid. The graphics are very, very nice. The soundtrack is amazing. If you have never played a factory game before, if you have no idea what this game is, then I implore you to sit back and enjoy this small little journey. That's it. I'm re-recording this because my audio levels were off. I hope my audio levels now are respectable. I lost my screen. There's my screen. My audio levels were off, and it really disappointed me because I was on a roll. So let's just kind of get into it now. See, this is my initial. Well, no, this is my private save game where I kind of goof off and whatnot. 209 hours. Most of that, I'll say 50 hours of that is AFK, because I would start something and then I would like take a nap and wait for it to complete. This is the save that I made in my last recording that I am going to begrudgingly delete now. We're going to start a new game and we're going to earn our operator badge. This allows us to do everything in the game. Completing this will unlock all of our buildings, our structures, and abilities and whatnot, so that we can really, really get crazy. So here is some nice flavor text. Pardon me. It introduced you to the game and whatnot. Very cool. Here you have to agree to, I will strive for efficiency and build no spaghetti factories. I'll agree to it, but that's some bullshit because there's going to be some spaghetti. What is spaghetti? Spaghetti is when you, in these factory games, you have like conveyor belts that will deliver things from one point to another. Spaghetti is when you just have lines and lines of conveyor belts twisting and turning throughout your area that resemble spaghetti. Took a drink. All right. So our objective is in the top left corner. Place 4 extractors. I have none of 4. So this right here is an extractor. I'm going to select that with left click. To wit, left click. This is a mouse and keyboard only game. This is the only game thus far that I've played on this channel that has been a mouse and keyboard game only. There is no controller support. PC only. So here in the bottom right is giving you context clues and hints that help you out. So pressing R rotates the structure that you currently have selected. Holding Shift and pressing R rotates it counterclockwise. So R is clockwise, Shift and R is counterclockwise. Here we are going to place on the shapes here, and we are going to extract shapes there. Now it wants us to use belts to deliver the shapes to the vortex on the right. So here we're going to select the conveyor belt. And it's telling us that we can place anchors with C. What does that mean? What's an anchor? So Shapez is pretty smart, and if you have a conveyor belt and you drag it in one direction, if you drag it in another direction, it'll create that angle for that 90-degree angle, okay? But if you drag it again, then it will drag in the initial direction, okay? What anchors do, it allows you to place an anchor at a point, and now you can drag in a direction, drag in another direction, yeah, anchor, and do the same thing, okay? Hope that makes sense. So here we're going to start dragging, press C, anchor, C, anchor, and now we're going to use this point here to jump over. Okay, so now we can see that our shapes are being extracted and placed on a conveyor belt. And now they are jumping from one platform to another. Give you a bird's eye view. This is our play area. Okay, this is home. This is where the vortex is. Okay, we started here to extract shapes. If we zoom out, this is our initial grid. And this, the more that we zoom out, we can see our entire little solar system. Okay, there are a lot of areas to explore here. I won't dizzy you, right? Like I can keep going in one direction for a long time. And yes, you can explore these areas and you can deliver back to your vortex. Pressing H brings us home. Very convenient. So let's get back to business. Use belts to deliver the shapes to the vortex on the right. So conveyor belt again. We're going to take our conveyor belt, left click, drag, there. And now our shapes are being very good shapes, and they're being delivered to the vortex. It wants us to open the knowledge pane to review past instructions, so we can press G or hover over the question mark there, click it, and here on the left we have a lot of different categories to view with explanations on the center here. Very good to know once you start playing the game. I'm pretty advanced in this, so I don't really need to read that, but we'll go through it for the sake of this video. And awesome, we're done. You can tell that you're done by, see the little checkered flag there? That means that you've completed that objective. So here, it wants us to place 3 half destroyers to cut shapes into halves. We're going to take our scissors. You need multiple buildings per belt. The amount is shown in the top right. What does that mean? What that means is this is the half destroyer, and you can have 3 per belt to be effective. So we're going to place 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to press 1, click and drag up here to feed our splitters. Then we're going to click and drag down here to feed our delivery belt. So now it wants us to, okay, now we're delivering half circles. This is not an idle game. Why not extract some squares already? Fine. So over here on the left, you can see we have a milestone count. Okay. This milestone here is requesting half circles. We're delivering 5 out of 40. It also wants squares. I have none out of 10. So let's go down. Let's follow our blinking arrow. Go down here. and extract. So here we're going to extract all of our squares. Now what I did here is, let me erase these. What I did here is that I clicked my extractor, and you can click, hold, and drag in a direction to place multiples. Very cool. Play nice. All right, we're going to, I know it wants us to get over there and complete that, but we're going to finish this first. Cool. So now we have squares. We're going to take these squares and we're just going to feed them to the vortex. That'll be done pretty quickly because we only need 10. Now it wants us to cut again. So what we need to do, it wants a one corner. Now a small little aside here, I'm trying to remember how I explained this in the initial video. If you are paying attention, you can see that every shape is constructed of 4 corners. It gets complicated later on if you enable it to do so, but we're going to stay with the beginner's understanding here. So every shape is constructed of 4 quadrants. Okay, the way that I understand it is that you can think about it in 2 different ways: 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, let's see. Let me pull this up. Come on, instructions. You're in the way. You're in the way. You're very much in the way. Okay, and that doesn't help me. So I'll explain all that later. So here you can see that every shape has 4 corners. Okay, we can separate it. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the way that you can think about it is corner 1, corner 2, corner 3, corner 4. Or how I do is northwest, northeast, southwest, southeast. And WNE, SWSE. That makes sense to me. Because these can be turned around and all kinds of stuff. And it'll get kind of funky. So it just makes sense to me to think of it in cardinals or intercardinals. All right, so what we have to do here is we have to deliver a singular quadrant. So what we need to do, since understanding these buildings helps you in the long run. So if you can pay attention here and take notice with these cutters, with the cutters, the blue section gets cut, the black section stays. I'll get out of the way so you can see it. The blue section gets cut, black stays. Blue gets cut, black stays. So if I were to place another cutter, okay, there's nothing to cut on the left side. That's no good. So what we need to do here is we need to have a clockwise rotator, which will rotate the piece. Now we can cut it and separate it from the left side. All of these markings are in the way. All these markings are in the way, so it's kind of funky to see it. But now you can see it clearly. Okay. But, oh, I'm sorry. Left gets cut, right stays. Okay. Now, what the pop-up just told us was that when you're delivering shapes to the vortex, it doesn't matter how they're rotated. What matters is the orientation. I'll say that again. It doesn't matter how they're rotated. It matters that the orientation is correct. Meaning, you see that these shapes have the quadrant in the southeast position or the 4 position. Okay. Vortex doesn't care because if you rotate it, it's still a singular quadrant. It can be on the 3 side. It could be on the 1 side. It's asking for the 2 side. Okay. But as long as it's there, it doesn't matter how it's rotated. I hope that makes sense. Because that really, understanding that matters in the long run. Let's go back to our squares here. So our squares want to be separated into a half. So we can do that. We can take this, we can just cut it. And we're good. It wants 40 of those, it's gonna get 40 of those. Won't take long at all. So in the beginning, things are slow so that you can get a handle on what's going on, which is very, very generous, I believe. The more that you progress through the game, you can earn research points to increase the efficiency of your factory, meaning that you can make your conveyor belts faster. You can make the cutting process faster. Amazing soundtrack. While we're waiting to it on the soundtrack, if this game intrigues you at all, on Steam, let me give you a little history first. This game was introduced to me on the Epic Play Store, Epic Game Store. It was a free game. The initial game, the first game, Shapez. I checked it out, I tried it, and I was hooked. I was very happy that they offered that game for free because I probably wouldn't have looked at it otherwise. Excuse me. Once they announced the sequel, I picked it up on Steam. Now, I didn't have Shapez1 on Steam. I didn't really think about that until Shapez2 made an offer that if you owned Shapez1 and you purchased Shapez2, then you can use the Shapez1 soundtrack in Shapez2. The track list is huge in this game, so I double dipped on Shapez1 because I was so enamored with Shapez2. Milestone is complete. So now we need to unlock our reward in the milestones interface. So we can click here. And this is the milestone interface. What this does, it tells you what level you are initially, what level you're on. Okay, so we are now level 0. Well, we completed that. Level 0 is what we've just done. This is the rotate and cut level. Big check mark there that we completed that. The rewards from here are everything that we've used so far. We used the conveyor belt, we used the extractor, the half destroyer, the 90-degree clockwise rotator, and the belt launcher. The belt launcher, we didn't really use it, but it was kind of automatic. This here is the belt launcher. We can use them on our own here. So if we cared, right, we can do something like that. And it's a little fun animation to watch. Okay. So the milestones, it'll tell you what it requires to reach the next milestone. So it wanted circles, then half circles and squares, then quarter circles and half squares. So now we're ready to unlock level 1.